All right. Hi, everyone. My name's Mike Pfister. I'm the head of product and customers here at Nylas. I'm very excited to have both Robert and Ryan here today from Gabbi.ai. We'll be exploring how Gabbi's partnership with Nylas has supported their mission of helping real estate agents sell more homes. Uh, at Nylas, we're helping companies like Gabbi integrate mail, calendar, contact data directly into their own products and applications. um, so Nylas makes it very easy to power calendar scheduling features and deep email integration, which you'll hear about soon from the Gabbi team. So please, Robert and Ryan, could you introduce yourselves and share a bit about your roles at the company?
Sure. So my name is Roberto Moreno, and I'm from Gabbi.ai. And basically, we're building a communication platform that basically helps real estate agents build better relationships with their customers. We're able to bring in, phone, email, and SMS into one easy-to-use sort of hub of communication, and then we layer natural language processing to move sort of the conversation forward. So, like you mentioned, our goal is to help agents be able to double or even triple their potential revenue each year by automating a lot of these conversations and being able to help them, communicate with more people.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what led you to found Gabbi, and what's kind of the story leading up to it?
Sure. So we've been in the real estate technology industry for about 15 years, and we've worked with a lot of real estate top agents across Canada. Build their online presence, build portals on all sorts of different things, and we all realize that one of the most important things that an agent is doing is building relationships. And we kind of analyzed like why some other agents better than others, and it turned out that the top agents are building relationships and have a lot of relationships. So we're like, well, how can we automate that without being to marketing automation, more personalized through a conversation. So that's really where we kind of decided to kind of enter into this new product.
And really helping those agents scale that process too, right? Which is where a lot of that NLP comes in, which is really cool to hear.
Yeah.
What if some of your users said so far, the agents that are actually using Gabbi, how is it working? I know you already mentioned there's definitely an impact on the amount of deals they close.
Yeah.
What about that relationship building part? What have you heard there?
Yeah, so it just because it's an application that works on their mobile and desktop, they're always on the go, they're always on their phone. So we wanted to build something that it's already natural to them because they're kind of already using the native applications on the phone to communicate. So they're saying things like I'm able to talk to more customers because I can send them not only through email, but I can also send them through SMS, and I can kind of see everything from A to Z in a very chronological order. So you can kind of see, if you're talking to other people, not just the customer, if you're talking to a title company or mortgage company, you can kind of see that on that one timeline. So you can really see a context of all your conversations in one application. So there, we have a couple of people that have been able to double their sales just because it can actually do more. And then part of Gabbi is automating some of those tasks. So some of the automations that we have allows them to, remove a lot of those repetitive tasks, allowing them to, save time to be able to do things that are more important to them. So we're doing things like automating scheduling showings. So one of the most time-consuming things that an agent does is, book a customer into other homes to be able to show them. So that's something that the customer usually has to, contact each agent. Well, we just let Gabbi know, and Gabbi does all the communication and basically figures out the routing, figures out the whole thing. So that's just one piece of AI of one of the things that we kind of do with Gabbi and how it's saving time.
That's really awesome. Yeah, and you mentioned scheduling features. So I have a question for you, Ryan. I would just love to hear about kind of how you've been using the Nylas API to power some of those features, and maybe first kind of introduce yourself as well.
Yep. So hi, I'm Ryan Ramage. I am the main tech lead here at Gabbi, and I've been the one responsible for actually building this product and just trying to take this vision into an actual thing that can be used. And so at first we started, our primary thing was SMS. Realtors are on their phones a lot, and so we kind of took over that. as the main communication. And then we got a lot of requests for integrating emails into their timeline, or realtor's timeline with the client. And once that happened, I started looking around at different, solutions that were out there, and Nylas came up near the top. So one great thing, it was really easy to find, and it was very discoverable, and it looked very easy. And so that was kind of, we really wanted to get this going quickly. And so we started using the API, exploring it, and just found out how easy it was to start bringing the communication from email side, right, integrate it into our platform. And so we had a proof of concept up in a couple days, as opposed to, something maybe in a couple weeks.
We did look at doing like bringing email, sort of, building that integration ourselves in. But that's not really our expertise. Our expertise is in the AI communication kind of space, and we looked at it and say, man, this is going to take, to be able to support all these mail clients, all these protocols. We needed something that we can kind of use and kind of just implement and kind of give us those features right away. And obviously, Nylas made sense for us, right? I think that was sort of the key.
Yeah, as most people in the startup business know, you don't want to build a product that's not your main focus. And the email part was kind of, it was important, but it wasn't our main focus. So it was easy to just integrate with, and we had a working solution rather quickly.
Yeah, so that's awesome to hear. So you were able to integrate with our one API to get access to all those accounts. And what features did those power, like in that initial proof of concept that you mentioned in a couple of days? So you've mentioned you've integrated with our email API as well as some of the scheduling features. Could you actually walk through, Ryan, how those kind of work in your product today?
Right. Yeah. So nice thing was it was very painless. It's a very straightforward API, and it's well documented. And so we were able to quickly just, first we started with the email, and we just, first we started with the OAuth, and the OAuth integration was quite nice, where we have users that already exist in our system, and we needed to connect to their email. And Nylas gave a nice, easy way for us to do a 3-legged redirect, and the customer has a, hey, we want to connect to your email screen, very painless. And then all of a sudden, we're getting an email sync up and running. Then the next step was we started just using the API to query messages directly. So when a customer in our product navigated to a client that had an email address, we could just get all the email messages with a quick, easy API call from that client with, like, how far back do you want to go, and nice query parameters. What we actually found out is, based on some of our requirements, we had to actually change a little bit, where we needed the messages in our system as well, in order to get the right queries that we needed. So Nylas provided a nice flexible API where we could start using webhooks, which meant that when messages came in, or right from the sync start, it would call us back with, hey, here's the message. And that was quite flexible for us to make a quick switch to using the webhooks API. And that gave us the power to, hey, we need our query stuff on our side. Lastly, the files API was the next big thing. Is we also needed attachments. We needed realtors get a lot of documents going back and forth, and so we don't store those. That was the one thing. Like, we don't want to waste a bunch of space storing files, and so Nylas gives a nice, easy API call where we can stream those files right from the Nylas storage directly to the browser. So users can just download them right in their app or browser. So it was quite nice.
Awesome. And Ryan, were you the sole developer working on this, and you did it so quickly, or what does the rest of the team and collaboration look like?
Yeah, so I'm the sole developer on the backend side, so getting the backend all set up. We do have a front end developer who is responsible for making the UI look nice and work. So again, a couple other nice things about Nylas that helped there a lot were, in our app, the UI wants to show little snippets of emails, and sometimes with emails, based on the content type and things like that. It's hard to get a nice snippet out. And Nylas provides a nice little snippet thing, so we could get a nice UI to give quick previews of emails and things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. So, and Files was a new one that I hadn't heard from you before. So it's really great to see you have not only help pulling down files, the email communication, and really helping your app, right, consolidate all these different channels between SMS, email. Robert, I'm curious kind of what the end user experience is like for the agents now that, like, what are some of the things that they're able to do action-wise within the app that is much faster than, say, their past process?
Yeah. So like our goal at Gabbi is really to like interpret the data better. So like, obviously email is like important. So we're working on being able to extract more data from these emails, like things like lead information, or being able to read a transaction document or data or a specific question on an MLS system. So our goal is to be able to extract this information and be able to help the agents, respond either automatically through AI or whatnot. So these are sort of things that we're in the process of building, and that's sort of going to be in part of that interface. So how do we help them, reply quicker by bringing in different contexts that we're analyzing and pulling from different data sets. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that.
Awesome. And so in terms of helping your team, it already sounds like, the development process has gone pretty quick in terms of integrating with Nylas, and it's also helped your own customers and agents. I'm curious, how do you see this evolving over time in terms of the product you've already built today?
Yeah. One thing that was mentioned, and like Gabbi right now is a communication hub, and our AI assistant does a lot where it communicates on the realtor's behalf. We haven't quite got into scheduling yet, and this was one of the things with Nylas is the calendaring. Is we do have a strong plan to, once the AI is setting up appointments and things like that, is we can use leverage the Nylas API to write appointments directly into an agent's calendar, or just see free busy time, things like that, which are super helpful for something working on a real estate agent's behalf. So that's something we're not quite there yet, but again, the API gives us a future path forward.
Definitely. So an agent would be able to essentially have showings booked for them automatically without having to do any work, and kind of have those relationships built with their clients behind the scenes. So they're having a lot of that work automated for them. That's really cool.
Yeah, so that the whole scheduling thing that is something that we are doing through the conversation, through more of the SMS, because that's sort of the channel that it's been used. But with the email side of things, there's still a lot of other things that can be, like I mentioned earlier, like if understanding the email, if somebody requests information about a specific property through email, because not everything's through SMS, then Gabbi's able to either respond to them or even help them have all that context ready for the agent, so that they can quickly maybe just see a predefined message that they can just kind of edit and send. So that like I said, every customer wants to be communicated their way, and obviously one of those ways is email.
Awesome. So what's been the current focus right now in terms of the product, right? Like, where are you as a company, and what are you spending most of your headspace looking at?
Yeah, so right now we, like I said, we are in the initial kind of stages, and we are kind of onboarding our first kind of customers now. So that's really exciting. And yeah, so that we're kind of building different things, but right now that's sort of our focus is to start building more. Now we have all the channels coming, is to start automating more of those repetitive tasks and giving back the time back to the agents. And that's really our next focus, and our more major focus.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, to build on that, is that now we have a communication hub that tackles all these different ways agents communicate, and especially through email. It gives us power to automate more of the real estate agent's tasks, so we can just keep doing more of that automation. Yeah.
Yeah, so what are some of those next tasks, like the most immediate ones you're going to focus on next that you know real estate agents are spending so much time where they shouldn't be?
Yes. So there is a lot of so for different there's different kind of cases, but one of them that we're working on is being able to, how do we re-engage with potential leads that have already maybe lost, and how do we do that through conversation? So that's one of the things that we're kind of tackling. Another thing we're kind of tackling is some of those requests that are coming in from email, that have very specific requests about a specific property that they were asking for, or specific information about a property. So that's sort of the next two things that we're kind of working on. And then obviously the next step is, after that, is more in the transaction, being able to pull some of the information as well from email documents and understand that the transaction document side of things.
Yeah, and so just on that re-engagement one, like, sending out emails to people that, on a contact list has been around for a while. We're trying to kind of change the look of that, where it's more intuitive, and the AI assistant can kind of understand what's going on in the conversation. So it's not just kind of spammy messages going out. It's more like, hey, it's a conversation with the customer over these different mediums. And so that's kind of the key thing for this re-engagement, we feel.
Yeah, awesome. That's great to hear. Well, Robert and Ryan, thanks so much for sharing. I'll end on that note, but I do appreciate both of you joining, and we'll talk soon.